A single event generates divergent views and opinions, some moderate, others extreme. With expectations from the people and responsibilities of the government, there is always an outpour of emotions, views, and analysis from all angles. On this space, your space, we bring these views together to harmonize them in such a way that you can understand the societal issues on ground. So join us on Your Space every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on Cool City Television, where we allow you to air your views on these societal matters. Remember, it's your space, your opinion.
Good evening, and of course, welcome to Your Space on Cool City Television. And my name is Obi Obianujunwa, and with me today is welcome, Mr. Josh.
Thank you so much.
Of course, little wonder why back then during our childhood days, we've always heard of this debate. Boy child is more important than the girl child. Girls are more important than girls. What a guy can do, a lady can do. All those agitations were to harness the concepts that women's education actually ends in the kitchen. Okay, coming to today's act, there are things women do and there are things going on whereby the men actually prefer to have a male child than to have a female child. So today we'll be looking at boy child preference over the girl child and the whole stuff regarding it. Over to you, Josh. What's your concept on this boy child preference to the girl child?
I don't want to see it in the light that a boy child is more preferred than a girl child. I don't think in that direction.
Okay.
But I believe that people go towards certain paths for certain reasons. When some families, not just the men, sometimes the wives are also involved, when they want more of guys than ladies, sometimes if you could get closer and ask why, then you might possibly get answers. They usually think that guys are closer to their immediate family than women.
Okay.
That thought in line that a woman could easily, maybe a lady from Enugu State could easily marry one man from Calabar
and go away.
And would go away.
Okay.
Or a lady from Enugu State could travel and would likely not want to come back, which has been the case. It's always more men trying to come back home, trying to send money home, trying to build houses home. Women, most times when they travel abroad, they are more interested in buying a house over there.
Okay.
And living the life over there. Maybe send some money down. But a man's mindset, an Igbo man especially, the mindset is always is almost always the home mindset, that he has something to prove at home. There are people he wants to challenge at home. Okay. There are pals, there are relationships he wants to top back at home. But some women, not all, find it easy to jettison all these things and move on. So it's easier for a guy when he marries, he wants to bring that marriage home. He wants to make the wife loyal to his parents. He wants to bring them to the parents.
Okay.
He wants to settle around home. You understand?
Yeah.
So when Igbo men talk of onochie, he sees his younger person in his child who wants to take over home, who wants to secure home, who wants to get something home. You understand? But some women wants to be like onochie too.
Yeah.
But how many of them? And the few that take that bold step to go towards that path are seen like women who are misplacing their role, who have what they call misplaced priorities.
But don't you think women should actually begin to take such roles?
We are a people, and we have a way of life.
Okay.
And irrespective of gender, there are rules and expectations in gender, especially in Africa. A woman can be 40 and managing.
Yeah.
It's easily understood with the statement that she's a woman. But when a man lives in a very comfortable one-room apartment at 40,
Okay.
he's seen as a useless man. for still living in a one-room apartment at that age. But for a woman who maybe hasn't gotten married but could leave the father's house at 40 and gets that kind of comfortable place and is fine, she might not be married, but she's seen as a responsible person. You understand?
Yeah.
So the difference is there. For at an age when a woman isn't married, she's seen not as irresponsible.
Okay.
She's seen that she hasn't found the person. It's still coming.
It's still coming.
But for a man, with or without money, at a certain age, we find people still insulting Don Jazzy today.
Definitely. Yeah.
When he's very rich, very comfortable.
Why
very
doesn't
wealthy,
have a woman?
Why doesn't he have a wife? You understand? But women of that same age with that same money, sometimes they can just say they are feminists, they have nothing with men, and people won't really judge them. This is because there are certain baggages that have been attributed to genders in our parts of the world.
Okay.
You understand? So it's not the same people. So when families say they want more of male, some will say they want more of female. But we Igbos, it doesn't stop how we train our daughters or our sons. At least in Igbo land today, the same level of education that is given to the male is
still given to the
female. Just that there are more expectations from the guys. The lady can be jobless at 26, and the parents are very comfortable footing her bills, taking care of her. They won't even want her to leave the house. You understand? But at 24, 25, even if the guy is not even if they don't let him leave the house, they start placing certain restrictions on him.
And responsibilities, yeah.
Even if they are not even wanting him to be contributing to the family, there are always restrictions. There will be a way they will be seeing him that you have not been how would I say,
productive and
productive enough.
Okay.
That at this age in your life you should have been out of school. Even if you are not, you should be doing something that could bring returns back home.
Okay.
Back to family. And talking about family again, for a woman, expectations aren't so much. When she marries, she's seen like someone the husband has to be responsible for. It's different for men. A married man has the responsibility of his parents, the responsibility of his in-laws, the responsibility of his immediate family, that's his wife and
his kids. Yeah.
Then cousins are there expecting one thing or the other.
Okay.
Same from the woman's side.
Okay.
But for a woman, even if she doesn't send things to the in-laws or to the cousins, it's not really, she's not really judged in that aspect. They'll say she's a woman married to the family. But for a man, it's
but the fact that she's married doesn't mean that she has to forget about her responsibilities, her immediate family.
It doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that. But we have that belief, which over time has been almost always has been the case, where the guys marry their wives home. So if the men are marrying and bringing them home, it means that lady is from somewhere who have left her people. And that guy's sister is going to be married off to another person. You understand? When a woman decides that she wants to marry a Calabar man or a Yoruba man or an Hausa man, it's her choice. But for guys, there is a lot of things that are involved.
Okay.
They have a lot of factors that they see to tell a guy that would want you to marry from here or from there. They would want to know the person he's marrying. You understand? Even though the female too, they also want to know the person she's marrying to. But there's always a thin line for male and female.
Okay. Let me quickly run through this story. There's this stuff that happened on the 18th. That's this Saturday at one of our polling units here in Enugu East. Okay, it happened to be that there's this due woman to put to bed, and the process where she was about to vote, her baby started coming out. So the women around had to help her put to bed and other stuff. So people around were jubilating, were celebrating, congratulating her. But we discovered that this woman, she's not actually happy that she has actually given birth, and she was sad, crying. People gathered and were like, what's happening? You're meant to be happy and all those stuff. You just gave birth. So after much, the lady was like, this is her 5th daughter. And according to her, her husband was like, if she happens to deliver a baby girl, she should not come back to his house and all those stuff. So with such thing and conceptions, what do you think?
Sciences. It's the man who has the X and
Y chromosome.
the Y chromosomes. So the woman has the X and X.
Yeah.
So if the Y tends to fertilize, it gives an XY, which is for male.
Male, yeah.
But if the man has to bring just the X, it goes for the XX,
which is the
so
female.
It's on the man, not on the woman. In self-defense, we try to evade we try to play numb to the truth, but the reality is the reality. Sometimes it so this unachieved thing, as we said, is that feeling that in his demise there is a man.
But why is that so, considering the fact that this is what you as a man deposit? That is what you get.
When problems struck, people tend not to want to face the reality of life. They tend to look for excuses and who to blame.
Okay.
And in such cases, it's vulnerable to this kind of cases, and they are always accused. They bear the
you
blame.
treated, they treat them
some
bad.
men go to the extent of ill-treating them because when you
but not just the men, both the men's family. It's not all this mother-in-law that like I need a boy and all those things.
That of the men's family is the responsibility of the man.
Okay.
Because if the man doesn't permit it, his family can't come into his own new family to insult his wife. So if that family is coming to insult his wife, then it's on his permission, because they don't have that kind of right.
But some family persuades the men.
But
they
can't
convince
force him.
them. No, they might not have. They might not necessarily have to convince force him.
The line to come into his family, he has permitted it.
Okay.
He has been silent about it. He has been silent about it, and that gives them the morale, the mind that they can now come in and take certain degree of action. If he stops it, if he draws the line that this is his family, it won't happen. But most times the men want the son, but they don't know how to fight their wives directly. So since maybe his family,
do they necessarily have to
the reality that it's on oneself? You understand that it's you yourself that is to blame. You find it difficult. The blame
do about it to end this issue of you have female children. You got to leave my house till you produce a male child and all this stuff.
It's only the widespread education, sensitization that it's from the men.
Okay.
Mostly, it's from the men. Once the both parties are potent enough to bear children, then it's just female. It's mainly on the man. You can only get what you give. You understand? It's mainly on the man. So that's I think that should be what the people should be sensitized.
But do you think that there's any factor influencing this man's belief that the woman can...
The blame factor. Once the chips are down, when they go inside, deep down, they tend to get one or two maybe thoughts in that line that it might be me, it might not be me, but they always have a way to fight that thought.
But such characters and attitude, which factor will you really blame? Will you really blame the family, the environment, or religious organizations?
I don't really like blaming religious organizations, family, or people.
Okay.
I like looking down to blaming myself.
Okay.
Because all these options are there. There are people getting it right. So if I'm getting it wrong, then it's on me.
But in some situations, how do you really know that you're getting it wrong?
The same factors I'm exposed to, that and my own is wrong. A lot of people are exposed to that same factors and their own is right.
Okay.
You understand? The hot water that makes egg go hard makes potato go soft.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? So it's not it's not the factors around us, it's what we have in us. Irrespective of, Darwin has his points when he said that when it's interpreted that we are what we go through. We are
Yes.
products of the environmental factors, changes, and what we're exposed to.
So, yes.
But even in the midst of all those, there is a great role we as people, our decisions, the mindset we choose to follow. People can change to become what they were not in a better perspective, not negatively, positive perspective.
Okay.
So it's on the man to face the reality that this thing is,
it's from him directly.
It's in me.
Yeah.
You understand? And possibly he could take medical advice, because there are medical ways such things might
solve
go-
such
go
problem,
around,
yeah.
that it could go around or something. So it's on the man to face the reality and take responsibility that this is the reality. The same person that cries that he doesn't have a son, that is having 5 daughters, there are people that have been married for over 20 years that they just need a child. Some have gone past that stage of even needing children. Some
Just
want
the child.
a
Just one.
miscarriage. No, you
Okay,
don't know. Some
okay.
people just want to have a miscarriage so that they'll know that
At least they are
capable
fertile, yeah.
and my wife is capable. Just that miscarriage will give them hope that one day
Something will
you will have a
happen.
child.
Yes.
And that hope alone is capable of giving them life. At least when you have, the thing that keeps us going in life, sincerely speaking, life could be very, very boring sometimes. But one of the things that get us going is hope that this is not the end. Hope that no matter how bad this thing is,
Because of the
if
way
you're
the boy
talking
and
of
woman
gender-
body is
if you're-
constructed, though.
if you're talking of gender
Equality.
equality,
Okay.
then you should consider the both parties. Yeah, you should consider the both. That this person has an advantage and this one doesn't have. You don't care. In politics, they don't care who has an advantage or who doesn't.
who doesn't,
Whoever
yeah.
wins gets it all, and the other person acquires it all. And it's not looking into the advantages or disadvantages one party or the other has. You understand? So if they are saying 50-50,
Allow their ladies to foot the bill.
that's who do that, who believe they should do that. And women in the traditional Igbo woman,
Yeah.
most Igbo women, when I mean traditional, I mean the normal average Igbo lady,
Igbo
in the
lady,
streets of Southeast especially, believes that it's the man's responsibility. If they are renting, it's the man that has to
Foot the rent.
foot the rents, foot certain bills. Cooking and cleaning, for example,
Yeah.
as a woman's responsibility. Then we came into the house, he has been
Yeah.
renting. Forgetting too that if he was renting 1 room or 2 rooms as a single person, being
Now
married
he's-
entails him
yeah.
going for 4, which if he were to be single, he wouldn't be staying there. Some will say it's because this man is a poor man, that's why he's thinking that rich single guys rent duplex and stay alone. But when the chips are down, like I would say, we go back and we tell ourselves the truth. We face the reality, understanding. There's a great joy when you go out of your way and do things for people. When as a woman you understand that you can go out of your way to cook for him, not because you are his slave.
7% of women now foot the whole bills.
Footing the whole bills, women are doing this, women are doing that. But each time women break up or get divorced, they always saying that I've been feeding the man, doing this for the man. But at the end of the day, when the truth comes out, you see that she hasn't been doing all those things. I'm not saying some women are not doing it, but most times it's the men. One thing I hate about this feminism idea, especially when they talk about that in offices that women are not promoted as men, it makes me angry sometimes, because one thing I know is that in every place where a woman is more competent than a man and knows what is happening around, of placing the man above the woman. When our parents are sick, if your parents is sick now and taken to the hospital, or maybe you want to put to bed now, you don't care if the doctor is a woman or a man. All you care is who can do the job. When you are sick, you don't care
if it's a male doctor or a female doctor,
if it's a black person or
a white person,
if
yes.
it's a Muslim, Christian. All these things are divides. You understand?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that even religion has come to be one of those divides. You don't care if he's a Christian or a Muslim, or a Buddhist,
yes.
or any form of religion, even atheist or whatever. You don't look into that. You look about competence. You understand?
The results.
You look about results. In politics, in Nigeria today, in Nigerian politics, I must say that women have been getting privileged positions. Yes, it's the reality.
Yes.
Because you don't tell me that you reserve a slot for women, that women must position.
As
So
a woman,
contest it, yeah. If a man wins, he can appoint anybody, both male and female, in his kitchen cabinet. If a woman wins, she can appoint anybody. You understand? We should go past that stage. I saw a post where somebody posted that a man in a state that has men, that a woman shouldn't be the governor.
It's
And
not done like that now.
I saw it.
Yeah.
And people are now insulting that what kind of thought is this?
Yes,
Is this
yes.
things we should be judging in Nigeria, in a dying and in a collapsing nation? Let me not use the word
Yeah,
dying to my
collapsing.
understand.
Yeah.
So that these are not the kinds of things we should be looking at. You
Yeah.
understand? But this is the reality. This is the kind of mindset we have as Nigerians.
Yeah.
In a state where when the man is the governor, you see people saying there is no woman there in his cabinet. To do what with the women? Doesn't he have a wife? If a woman is competent and can deliver in a given field, if the best in that position that you can have, that is available and will take up the position is a woman, you give it to them. Just like when you are sick, just like when you need a barrister, you don't look for a male or a female lawyer,
barrister.
no.
Yeah.
You look for who has the track records that could deliver the job. It plays down on competence. Who can do it? You understand? When jobs are advertised most times, sometimes when they say they don't want women in certain jobs, is because they feel that this thing is a man's job. Most times when people need people to carry bag of cement.
But there are some women that do that, yeah.
It's questionable because how many women could do that kind of job? You understand?
Yeah.
It's questionable. When they need a commissioner for women affairs, for example, if you bring a man there, it's questionable. There are few reserves where it's mainly a man or a woman that is needed.
Yeah.
But in most cases, if we are saying gender equality, if we are saying we want it 50-50, that we don't want to accept that there is a role of a man
and there's a role of a female,
woman, then it should be 50-50. Everybody should go and cry and die, because I don't know why somebody will preach a message that doesn't entail people sacrificing for others.
Okay.
Yes, because it's sacrificial. It's when you sacrifice and do things out of your way for people, to make them happy, to make them feel blessed. You know, when you say I'm blessed, it's others. What people go out of their way to do for you. It's not necessarily what you do for yourself.
Directly,
even if you pay for those services, they are still going out of their way to do it for you. You understand?
Okay, so coming back to this, our boy child preference over the girl child. Do you really think it's just because to keep the line going, it's just the unachieved stuff that would actually make a man want just mostly the boy child
than the
girl child?
Some will say heir to the throne or something.
Just to be the heir to the throne.
If they have a throne to give, or if they have companies to will, they would want a son with the mindset that he's not leaving the family, that he will change his surname, that he's marrying someone in.
So wait, are men actually scared of the woman changing her surname and taking his property to her husband's house? Or
scared of that? Their wives literally changed their names to theirs. You understand? What they are thinking is that he labored so much for this, and his daughter is taking it to another man. Another family. So
but coming to that, I want to ask, why is it that the females, they don't get inheritance in Igbo land, the Igbo culture, they don't give inheritance to their female child?
What I know about inheritance is that the first son takes the obi
of the father.
That's the father's house, and every other thing is split among the children. That's what that's what I know.
But from what I've been seeing, they just share it among the male children, and they avert
I read somewhere
from the female child.
Things were done before Western cultures came
Okay.
in, that it wasn't this way. I really don't have a full grasp of the whole story. It's been long I read about it, but it's showing that it wasn't really this way. That when an Igbo man, for example, marries 4 wives, he shares his properties according to the wives.
Yeah.
Apart from the obi that goes to the first
Son, yeah.
And the wives will, I think, based on how many children you have or something, it's shared in that aspect. You understand?
Not checking female or male, you just get.
It goes that way. The person that gets that preferential treatment is that first son that is expected to live in that obi. You understand?
Okay. So what do you think about these women that, okay, maybe when their husband dies and they just have more of girls, you see the husband's family members trying to seize the whole property, taking everything from her.
These things are projections by Nigerian movies.
It's not really projection, it happens.
No, it's in very rare cases.
Yeah.
I've heard of them, I've not seen them.
Okay.
But I believe if it's thinkable and actable, then it's possible. It's happening somewhere. You understand? And most times it happens when maybe the children are not of age.
Okay.
Or in the case where maybe they feel the wife was promiscuous and those kids might not necessarily be of the man.
Okay.
Or maybe they feel the woman has a hand
In the death
of the man.
her
But they must
husband.
always find a way to cling on to something, not making their allegations directly based on there's no son. Because sometimes the man might have 4 sons and they'll still go for it. So it depends on individuals. That's why we have human rights societies
where we can go report to and
where you can always take your
complaints
your
to and
complaints
cases
to as
to.
a price though.
Okay. So do you think it's actually bad for men to act that way towards the woman because of just having female issues?
We should preach the message of people should learn to accept things they can't change.
Okay.
Or make constructive and well-targeted plans towards finding a way to make things you can't change better.
Okay.
Adapting to them and hope for changing circumstances.
Okay, changing circumstances and actually adapting. Okay, we'll be telling the men out there, when situations like this arises, they should probably go for a checkup. It can actually help them overcome the problem, and that would actually avert this idea of beating your wife or sending your wife away because she has been producing just female children for you. And don't forget the fact that this is actually what you've been depositing to the woman. That's what she has given you. You can't deposit a male in her tummy and expect her to give you a female. No, that's what you gave her. Okay, at this point, we would like to tell our audience, thank you for joining us, and don't forget, it's your space on Co City Television. We do hope you join us.